So Javier Tebas had a couple of things to say about Barcelona's registration problem, and this is what he said. We La Liga behaved as how we should, as per the law. On December 31st, Barcelona tells us we don't have fair play. Then they try to update Olmo's registration, but we say we can't update it. He doesn't have authorization to have a registration. On January 3rd, they have fair play, but then it is impossible because he has already been deregistered and can't have a new license. All right, so first of all, the fact that Javier Tebas is still talking about this till this day, we're on February 1st, it's kind of embarrassing because it does seem like this league led by Javier Tebas really does have a big agenda against FC Barcelona and what they do in this league, right? It just doesn't make any sense. But I'm not going to be talking about that because we all know that Javier Tebas has his favoritisms. And we know that he does have certain agendas on this club. We all know that. None of this is new. We have been knowing this since like 2020. So part of the reason why I want to speak about this is because I want to explain what is this whole situation. Like, why is Javier Tebas going against us and why, is Barcelona in this predicament? So first things first. The financial maneuvering and what Barcelona did in order for us to, to have a player like Dani Olmo in our squad. So Barcelona have for sure have done like some financial operations. Like, for example, they have secured some investments like we talked about here before in this YouTube channel. We have restructured some contracts to reduce the wage bill. We have done some things in order for us to bring in Dani Olmo into the wage bill and to continue to play for us for another 6 months in this season. Javier Tebas continued to say that what does the commission do after all of this? They studied the situation because Barcelona wrote a letter, but had Olmo's license already canceled. There's nothing more in this. So he's basically saying Dani Olmo was unregistered and, the commission did Barcelona a favor and that's it. Nothing more to say. As if like Barcelona did not do the correct things in order for us to have Dani Olmo registered. So like I've said, we did some things. We had the sale of the VIP seats. We have restructured the wage bill. We did a little bit of movement, a little bit of some other details within the wage bill that allowed us to register Dani Olmo. And apparently to Javier Tebas, he's saying that, basically what he's saying is Barcelona were given a favor to register Dani Olmo because once he is unregistered, you cannot go back. And once again, it just doesn't make any sense because Barcelona submitted a appeal and they submitted a 52-page report to the CSD, and they were challenging the interpretation of the league rules that players once deregistered could not be re-registered within the same season. This appeal was based on the argument that the decision to re-register Olmo and Pau Víctor was not in the line with the spirit of the regulations, especially considering the temporary nature of their initial registration, which was tied to Andreas Christensen's injury. So this was Barcelona also did an appeal, right? They said, we're going to put a appeal to the CSD because we want to have Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor in our squad. And Barcelona were willing to fight all of this. And they said this because Christensen was out. He has been injured for the past 4 to 5 months. And because of this like special situation with Christensen, which allowed for Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor to come in, that is the reason why Barcelona said Christensen is still out. He's still not here in this squad with us. And so because of that should be the reason why this player should continue to be registered with us. That was basically what Barcelona have been trying to say. And so what Barcelona were basically arguing was this was a very special circumstance. Like, yes, okay, like Dani Olmo could not fit in our wage bill, but we do have a special circumstance. Christensen is still not with us. You guys said to us that as long as Christensen is not in our squad and he's unregistered, then Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor can be in our squad no matter what, even if we go to January 1st and it's a whole other different a whole other different time within the season, right? If Christensen is out, we deserve to have our players here. That's basically it. It's a special circumstance, and he's still not here with us going through January, and that is the reason why we were given the temporary registration justification for these two players. That is the reason why. And that is what Barcelona were fighting for through that 52-page report, is because this was a special circumstance. So I do think that Barcelona is on the right path, the correct argument. And Barcelona got what they deserved, which was to have Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor to continue to play with us. All of these things about trying to get like Javier Tebas trying to unregister the players didn't make any sense, because the reason why we had Olmo and Pau Víctor register in the first place is because La Liga agreed that as long as Christensen is not registered in the wage bill at all because of his injury, that would mean that these two players can come in. So knowing that, right, that's kind of like the reason why it kind of pisses me off, is because you agreed on something 5 months ago and now you want to change everything, right? Like you want to make it seem like Barcelona's cheating and that Barcelona don't deserve to register Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor. But like I said, you guys originally agreed, excuse me, that as long as Christensen is out, we can have Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor in. And when January 1st came in, Christensen is, till this day, Christensen is still not with us. And he's not going to be with us for another 3 to 4 weeks. So we're allowed to have players like Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor to be in. And that is why the commission said, okay, that's fine. It makes sense on what you and the league have agreed on. And Barcelona also like did some other, some negotiations. They also said that the workers' rights argument also really helped. It said that Barcelona also leveraged the argument that not allowing Olmo and Pau Víctor to play would go against workers' rights in Spain, suggesting that the players should be allowed to work or play while the legal proceedings were ongoing. This was part of their strategy and to extend the registration beyond the initial temporary period. So multiple reasons why these two players should be continuing to play with FC Barcelona. But for some reason, to Javier Tebas, he just can't get over it. He just continues to talk about this to make it seem like to the media that Barcelona are cheating or they're trying to do something or whatever. It's just unnecessary words. Like, yes, okay, I get it. Like, it is a little tricky with this whole operation about whether Dani Olmo or Pau Víctor should be registered or not. I get it that it's a very complicated operation, but why bring this up? If you want to speak about things like this, go speak to Joan Laporta, go speak to Barcelona in private, so we don't have to talk about this. But Javier Tebas continues to state that the court's decision to register Olmo shows they don't understand how registrations are given. So, like I said, Barcelona won this battle because the commission allowed for Barcelona to register these two players, and based off the reasons that Barcelona gave to the commission, they're like, okay, this makes sense, a lot of sense. Whatever you guys and the league were trying to talk about, I can see why you guys deserve to have those two players, because you guys originally agreed that as long as Christensen is out, these two players can come in. But to Javier Tebas, he's like, oh my God, like you guys don't understand what it takes to have a player to be registered, and all of this just doesn't make any sense. And then he said, we have requested a measure to cancel the registration of Olmo. So he's telling the commission and to Barcelona that we still don't think that this is right, that Barcelona should have never been given the permission to register these two players. This is not fair. It's just all talk, bro. It's all talk. Like, it's just insane to see how much of a agenda Tebas has to FC Barcelona. Zero problems with Real Madrid, but like all the problems with FC Barcelona. And so I hope that this kind of like make you guys understand what's currently going on and why Javier Tebas came out to say certain things. I understand that it did seem a little complicated at first, but just know. Right, just know that the reason why we are able to have Olmo and Pau Víctor today, it is because Christensen is out. Okay, that is the reason why. And Christensen continues to be out for another 4 to 5 weeks. And so because Christensen is still not here with us and considered unregistered, that is the reason why the commission said, okay, that makes sense, because that is what you and the league have agreed upon 5 months ago. And the same rule still has to apply today. To Javier Tebas, he's like, this sucks. There's no way. Hala Madrid. It cannot be like this. It's sad to see what type of league we're in right now. In other news, I also want to talk about Vanderson. Barcelona is following fullback Vanderson for the summer. He is Deco's recommendation, and this is according to Gabriel Sanz. Now, we talked about Vanderson before. Vanderson is a Brazilian right back, and clearly Barcelona is in the market for a player like Vanderson and for a fullback in general, because we only have Jules Koundé. It's kind of like the left wing position. We only have Rafinha. Vanderson would be a great signing, in my opinion. I don't think that Vanderson will bench Jules Koundé. I mean, like, he's a 23-year-old right back. He's very young. 3 years younger than Jules Koundé, I believe, or 2 years younger. He has a contract with Monaco until 2028, and he does play sometimes as a right midfielder and also as a right winger. Currently, his market value is at 20 million euros. So I do think that ideally, if Barcelona want to sign this player, 20 million euros max, not 25, not 26, not 27, 20 million euros max, it would really help us. Do I think that this might have some predicaments and some pushback against the future of Hector Fort? Yes, of course, because Hector Fort is a player that we count on, and Hector Fort loves FC Barcelona. Yes, he plays in both positions, like on the left back position and the right back position, but we'll see. I think that Vanderson has shown that he can be a very reliable right back. He did also just come from Gremio 2 years ago, back on January 1st, 2022, 3 years ago actually, and he moved for 11 million euros. Yes, Barcelona at that time in January 1st or in the summer of 2022, they wanted Vanderson. So this is not the first time that we have been linked to Vanderson. But ever since then, with Monaco, he has been amazing. This season right now, he has played in 26 matches, scored 2 goals and provided 4 assists as a right back. It's really good. I mean, it's in the French league. You know what I'm saying? Like the French league is not like the most competitive league. Hence the reason why we see Dembélé scoring a lot of goals in the league. So I would just say, like, yeah, go for it. I don't want to pay any more than 20 million euros because I think that the majority of our resources needs to go towards our attack. We need a proper striker. We need a better left wing alternative to Rafinha. It has to be it, right? So we'll see what happens. Moving on to the other news, I want to speak about Marcus Rashford. It does seem like Marcus Rashford is not coming to Barcelona at all. We have not gotten any progression with Nico Gonzalez going to Manchester City. We heard some news yesterday, but as of now, we have not heard anything past that. And so as of right now, at the time that I'm recording this video, Rashford is going to be joining Aston Villa. And all talks are proceeding within all parties. Rashford is okay with going to Aston Villa. Aston Villa wants Rashford. Man United is okay with letting go of Rashford, and that's basically it. Villa are expected to cover a significant portion of the forward's wage alongside offering performance-related bonuses. That is exactly what United want. It is exactly what also Rashford wants. He wants more money, which I understand. And Emery, right, the manager of Villa, personally requested the clubs to have those type of talks with Rashford. And this is not the first time that Man United have let go of a player to a direct competitor. Like, for example, we have seen United let go of Jesse Lingard to an English rival, which was actually to West Ham, which is crazy, right? So that's kind of like, that's just what United like to do. You don't see that happening in Barcelona like a lot. I mean, like unless it's like Atletico Madrid, we do see some Barcelona players go to Atletico Madrid eventually, but you don't see that a lot in, I would say, in La Liga in general. In the Premier League, you see it a lot. You see a lot of these players like go back and forth between different English clubs, like Salah or Grealish or Doku, right? No, not Doku, but Grealish. Yeah. So we're not going to have Rashford. That's basically it. And the main reason why is because Ansu Fati did not decide to leave FC Barcelona. That was going to be our, I would say, easiest route to affording Rashford. But it's not going to happen because Ansu Fati has that belief that he can bring something special to Barcelona. And once again, and I'm going to continue to say this, I hope that he does. Like, props to him for trying to take a firm stance on, having more continuity in the future with Barcelona. Hopefully he does deliver. And I hope that once Hansi Flick gives him the minutes, and hopefully we can see that against Alaves tomorrow on Sunday, he can score goals or provide assists. Because, man, like, if you're taking that much of a stance that would not allow us to sign a player that we want, you better score some goals. Score some goals, bro. You better. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.